Next, interesting article. This is a pay-per-click advertising article from Search Engine Journal. Google is replacing dynamic search ads with AI Max. So I think it's interesting. So, and it actually breaks it down. There's a really kind of interesting graphic that breaks down, the targeting differences, the creative differences now with AI Max. Reporting, the campaign, workflows. So I think it's good and bad. And I'll tell you, full disclosure, I've been managing Google Ads campaigns since 2001. I've been managing pay-per-click campaigns since 1998. And so it's evolved considerably, obviously. And so it's, PPC management. PPC in general is a different ballgame than it was 2 years ago, let alone 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. So I'll tell you pros and cons. I think this is good for certain type of businesses, but there's also a lot of caveats, right? So I think that, at the end of the day, you advertise to get some type of return on your advertising spend. That's why you advertise, to get business, to get leads, to sell products, whatever it is. There has to be some sort of ROI and return on your ad spend. But, I think that for certain type of advertisers, having an AI Max, which essentially is automating every aspect of your campaign, is good. But sometimes it's really bad. And I've seen it firsthand. Really bad, where it drives thousands of impressions, thousands of really non-relevant clicks. The advertiser, the client says, "Oh, this is great. We're getting all this great visibility, but is it really great? The ROI is junk, right? It's just not there. The return isn't there." So, to me, I think certain type of campaigns, if you're running a branding campaign, this is great. If you're not really tied to getting a heavy duty return, but it's maybe a long term, you're building a brand in a market, this is wonderful, because now you can really comprehensively attack your target audiences at a massive level. But if you're a smaller business or a mid-sized company selling a product or service in a local market or even in a regional market, it's your waste. You're going to waste a lot of money with this, and you're removing lack of control of your brand too. If it's just going to pull ad copy based on the landing page copy, in theory that sounds great, but it's not always great, because as marketers, we want our brands to be structured a certain way consistently over and over and over and over, because that's how branding works. Is when you have that, inconsistency in messaging, that's where branding fails. And so I think that some pros and cons there. So I don't know, Catherine, John, I want to get your take on this one.
Yeah, when you tell Google to do an automatic program like this, like the AI Max, they just, in theory, they should be optimizing and reading the network and stuff. And in theory, it should be smart enough to know how to set the reach for your campaign. I don't know how this works. I haven't looked at it, but one would hope that you could align your point and your goals, and that Google will align itself with that. But that's a downside with automating, right, as you said, because if you can't set your point, I want to get leads, the keywords that drive leads are totally different than the ones that drive your brand and expand the reach of your brand just for information purposes. If you can't set your point, then I can see this being frustrating. But if you're a big company that has a lot of budget and it kind of doesn't matter, it's kind of nice for Google to sit and
you can run
do all the thinking for you.
Exactly. You can run one-click experiments with this. Mm-hmm. So you can run a lot of series of tests. So if you're a larger brand, and you could take 5% or 10% of your media budget on a monthly basis. So okay, I'm going to run this in rolling tests. I mean, that's what I would do with this. Is if I had extra budget, I'd say, okay, I'm going to take 10%, and I'm just going to run a series of tests, A/B testing, and just let it run and compare it to our control, where we know it it drives good quality results. So
that's smart.
Yeah. So John, what do you think on this?
Yeah, it looks like it's a new tool, right? It's, and we always say, like, over here, we're always trying every tool that comes our way, right? And
Right.
this one we might be forced to use because it's completely replacing, dynamic search ads. But like you said, test it, see if it works,
Exactly.
what parts of it you like, what parts of it you don't, and then cater your experience towards that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.